press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello children, how are you? All are doing good, is it? So today I am here with you with a new poem. The name of the poem is The Last Bargain. The Last Bargain, it was written by Rabindranath Tagore. You know, all of you, that how he is a famous, and he is a famous because of his work. So let's see the poet introduction about Rabindranath Tagore. So he was born on 7th May in 1861 in Kolkata, and he is known as Bhanu Singh Thakur, Gurudev and Kabir Guru. So these are the names of Rabindranath Tagore. And he was a Bengali poet, writer and a painter and also music composer. Okay, and he had won Nobel Prize Nobel Prize in Literature. Okay, so he is honored with the Nobel Prize in Literature, and his main works are which are the books he has written, and which is the most famous works of his, that is Gitanjali Ghora, and also the famous our Indian national anthem, that is Jana Gana Mana. So it was composed by Rabindranath Tagore, is it? So this is about the poet introduction. I hope that you have got the points what I said here. So today I am going to start the poem. The name of the poem is The Last Bargain. The Last Bargain, it was, this poem is about a man. The man who is asking for a job, okay, because he is a jobless and is seeking for job. So he gets so many opportunities. So while he was seeking for a job, he is asking to so many people. So in that, so he is asking to the king, then a girl, the beauty who have the most beautiful girl, and also some of the rich man. So they were offered, and he also needed. So that's why here the poem called The Last Bargain, that is called bargain. So bargain is a word which is used for give and take policy. You know it, okay? So where we are seeing this, the give and take policy. So one man hires and one man needs it. So that is called bargain, okay? So here this man, he is bargaining for what? For work. So he is waiting for somebody, so that person is going to hire him, okay, for a job, and instead of that he is paying, okay? So but last he refused it. He refused the 3 bargains, the 3 proposals, okay? So at last he got some of the interesting job which he hired, and that person or that man he is called for. So let's see in this poem that what are the 3 things and which are the last one, so which he lacks the most or more than that 3. Okay, let's see here. A bargain is an agreement in which both parties promise to do something for each other. Okay, as I told you that it is a policy, it is an agreement between the 2 people. Okay, so what are the agreement? So the 2 people are accepting it. That is called as a bargain, and it was a promise. Okay. Then someone is looking for work. So in this poem, someone is looking for a work. He needs work, waiting to be hired. So he is waiting for somebody is going to be hire him for work. He strikes a bargain but thinks it's worthless. So which are the people they were offered him? So that seems like a worthless. There is no value for those things. Okay. Then he tries twice again but doesn't like either. Finally, in the last bargain, when he is hired for nothing whatever, he is happy as never before. What is the bargain and why is it that best? Okay, as I told you, he rejected 3 proposals. Okay, the 3 proposals. So what the people they wanted to hire him, so he was rejected. And later, that is the last bargain is, so that is for nothing. That boy, you can look in the picture, the boy is having something. But actually, that bargain is for nothing. There is no money, there is no the material which he likes. So not like that. So at last he feels happy for that last bargain. Okay, so let's see what is the last bargain. The speaker in the poem, okay, so come, first I am gonna read this poem, so later I am gonna explain it. Come and hire me, I cried while in the morning I was walking on the stone-paved road. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. But his power counted for naught, and he went away in his chariot. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lane. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. It was evening. The garden hedge was all aflower. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. The sun glistened on the sand and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From henceforward, that bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, so let's see. So what the speaker is going to say here. The speaker here, come and hire me. I cried while in the morning. So the incidents, the situation, so we see in the morning. Okay, so that was the morning time. So he cried, the man cried, the speaker. Okay, that in the poem we can say that the speaker in the poem walking on the road. I was walking on the stone paved road. So it was a stone paved road, means the road which was covered with the stones. Okay, so he is saying to the people that come and hire me. Okay, I am ready to work for you, so you can hire me. You can get me for your work. Okay, I can do whatever you want. Okay, so here he says, come and hire me. I cried while in the morning. So this situation the time it was conducted in the morning, and sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. So when he was looking for somebody that the person can hire him, so then he saw that the king, he was coming in a chariot, and he was having a sword in his hand. That was a king, but his power counted for naught. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. Okay, so in the fourth line, the speaker says here, so that king has said that to this man, that I will hire you, I will give you job, I will give you work. Okay, so what? And my power, I have more power. So the king, you know that usually what the powers the king has. Okay, so he has all kind of a power, politically, financially, then economically, then societal, everything. He got all the power. So he is saying that I will give that power. What you want, I will give you. Okay, so I will give you that work, and instead of that I can pay whatever you want. So he said, but his power counted for naught, and he went away in his chariot. So whatever the power he has, so that counts for nothing. Okay, naught means, you can see the spelling like counted for naught, N-A-U-G-H-T. Naught has used here instead of using N-O-T. So here it has used the spelling called, but it says the same thing. Counted for nothing. It's for nothing. That power is nothing. It is useless to that man, because someday that the power is going to be an end. You know, the king, it is not a permanent, it is a temporary thing. So someday it will going to be an end. So that thing, now the speaker says that becomes useless, that for nothing to me. So that's not permanent. Why should I go with the king? Why should I go with the king and work with him? Okay, the power is going to be an end. It is not permanent. So that's why he rejected. The speaker in this poem, he was rejected. Okay, so this is about the first paragraph. Let's move to the further paragraph here. Here, in the heat of the midday, the houses stood with the shut doors. So when the king arrives, it was in the morning. Okay, it was in the morning time, and he was walking on the road which is covered with the stone. So it's about a speaker. So let's move on to the second paragraph. In that second paragraph, the speaker used to say here that it was about a midday. Midday, it is about a afternoon time. Okay, so it's an afternoon. That houses, so every houses they have shut their doors. Okay, then I wandered along the crooked lane. I wandered means roaming aimlessly. Okay, wandering means roaming aimlessly without reason. Simply that person is roaming. Okay, that is called wandered along the crooked lane. Crooked lane, which is bent and twisted. The lanes which he is wandering, so that is bended and twisted. Okay, like zigzag way. Okay, it is not a narrow one, it is not a straight one, it is bended and twisted. So in that lane he was walking. The speaker is walking, that is a man who needs a bargain. An old man came out with his bag of gold. So when he was walking in that lane, so one man has arrived to him, and he says he has full of gold in his bag. Okay, that bag is filled with gold. Okay, and he pondered and said, pondered, underline the word pondered, which means thought carefully before making decision. Thought carefully, thinking before making decision. He pondered and said, so that man who came to this speaker, okay, so who needs the job, so that person, the old man, has came to him, and he said that, so by thinking lot of time, and he said to him, and he come to the decision, I will hire you with my money. Okay, so in the first paragraph you come to know about the king is ready to give his power. With his power he can give a job for him. Okay, here in this paragraph, in the second paragraph, the old man he is offering to the man, to the speaker, with his money. Okay, money means already you can see the gold. His bag is full of gold. Okay, so so that means that person is a rich. Okay, so he's a rich. He can get anything, whatever he wants. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. So he was counting his coin one by one. So in his bag he had a gold coins with a full of money. So in that he is weighing it. He is counting it one by one. So suddenly the speaker in this poem, so he was turned away. I turned away means he was rejected. So he was rejected rich man's offer, because this man, he doesn't like power and also money. Okay, because money is also temporary, it's not a permanent issue. So someday it will be with me, or someday it is not with me. Okay, so it's temporary. If any problem arises, so it will, all the money and all the richness, it will be gone. So what it remains, let's see what it remains in this poem. Okay, why this man is not liking. Okay, so why he needs job, he wants job, he is seeking for a job, but he is not working for power, and he is not ready to work for money. Okay, let's see what he wants. It was evening, the garden hedge was all aflower. Okay, so now first two paragraphs, the first paragraph it was the time, it was, you can see here, in the morning, then second it was in afternoon, and in the third it was in the evening. Now the day is passes. Okay, it is passing like this. The garden hedge, so there was a garden, so in that there is a fence of bushes, there are bushes of flowers. Okay, was all aflower, a bloomed flowers is there in the garden. So there he was. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Fair means a beautiful girl. Okay, so he is like queen or somebody who is a rich woman, but she is having a good beauty. She is a beauty. She has acquired a lot of beauty in herself. Okay, so in that she says that I will hire you. So I will give you work like smile. Okay, with a smile, with a beauty, she wanted to hire the man. Okay, here her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went. Her smile pale means faded. Okay, it was faded and melted into tears. So what's a beauty and what's a smile? It was there in that girl face. So it was faded, it was gone, and later it was turned into tears in her eyes. Okay, and she went back alone into the dark. and that lady, she was went alone in the dark. So beauty is also not permanent, it is also a temporary thing. So you can see any beautiful woman or a smart guy, a smart, good looking person, if you see them, so after 10 years, they will not like that. So it will be faded. So what is needed? The inner beauty is important more than the outer part of the beauty. Okay. So here the poet says like that, Rabindranath Tagore. Then, so let's move on to the last paragraph. That is the fourth paragraph here. The sun glisten on the sand. Glisten means shone. Shone, it is a past tense of shining. The sun is shining. It means glisten, you may say glisten, so it is shone. Shone, it is a past form of shine. Past of shine. So, what it means? The sun was shining. Sand, which was sand, its reflection, it was, he can see on the sand. And the sea waves broke up waywardly. The sea waves, he was in the sea. Okay, here he was near the sea, and there it was broke waywardly. Waywardly means disobedient, not in a proper manner. The sea waves which is not in a proper manner, how they have to move in the ocean, not like that. Okay, so like it is, a child sat playing with the shells. So in this paragraph it is described the oceans and also the sun. Okay, sun, it is when it is shines, so its reflection it is on the sand. Okay, then the sea waves are not in a proper manner, that is called waywardly. A child sat playing with the shells. So there near the sea, so there was a child. He was playing with the shells. You know the shells. So if you go to the beaches or if you visit the sea or in any beaches side, so you can get the shells. Okay, from that shell, this child is playing with it. Okay, he raised his head and seemed to know me and said, "I hire you with nothing." So the child who is playing there near the seashore, so that child says that, "Yes, I will give you work, but I will not pay anything. That's for nothing. Okay, I will hire you with nothing. So if you work for me, but I don't have money, I don't have a power, I don't have a smile to give you." Smile means like the girl smiles. Okay, so like that I don't have anything to give you. So it's for nothing. So here poet says that it's for nothing. I don't have anything. What three things it's there in the 3 paragraph. Okay, so there. From henceforward, that bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. Okay, so here he likes the man, the speaker in this poem. He likes that playing with that child. So that's give a free man. So that freeness means the thing which he has done for a child, that is called a good deeds. So it is a permanent, it is remain for a everlasting. Okay, so it is not faded. So that what he has doing with the child, okay, the playing. So main thing is the playing with the child. So he makes me happy to to the child, and what he gets, he is also happy. He is also happy, and he also feel free bird. Okay, so he doesn't have any yes, one day these things will be gone or that. No, he always be happy in that, and that it means it compares to the good deeds. Okay, the good deeds which is value for more than anything. Okay, so that is we are doing in our world, in this world. So that good deeds, it never give anything to us, but it gives of what called the feel, the pleasure, the satisfaction in our souls. Okay, where we lead a life peacefully and happily. So this is the very important message in this poem, that so not the power remain, okay, not money remain, not the beauty remain. So all things will be gone one day. So what it remains, that remains the good deeds. So what we do in this world to the people, so that it remains everlasting. Okay, so it never going to be fade, it never going to be lose with someone. Okay, so there the person who is asking for a bargain, So there he feels that yes, this job is suitable for me because it gives a happiness to me and happiness to the child also. Okay, so that happiness is not going to be vanished. It's not going to be faded. Okay, so it remained permanent in his mind, in his heart. So who's that child's? So that gives happiness to the speaker, that is the man who is seeking for a job. Okay, so here the last bargain. So what it tells the poet about, so whatever we are doing for a people, that should be remain as a everlasting. After our death also, that remains a lifetime. Okay, so that will be not ended. So this is about the poem. I hope that you have understood about this poem very well and about the poet introduction. Okay, so let's see about poetic devices. You know, this poetic devices is very important because poetry, you know, the poetry, it is a creation of a poet, its own creation. It's not copied or it's not taking the ideas from the other people. It's its own ideas and own creation. So there he put all the creation in according to the poetic devices. Okay. So there where it gives the quality which give us standardized to the poet, okay, poet and his work. So there we are going to use the poetic devices in the literature. Okay, let's see what are the poetic devices are used by the Rabindranath Tagore. Okay. Okay, the first poetic device here is used in this poem is symbolism, poetic devices, and you may call it as a figures of speech. Okay, first is symbolism. So what is this symbolism? Okay, before we are going to move to the symbolism, let's see about a rhyme scheme. Okay, it's better to go through rhyme scheme first. Rhyme scheme. So here rhyme scheme, how we can find out the rhyme schemes here in this poem. So you can look into the textbook, okay, and you take a pencil in your hand and just see that in the first line, the first line and the ending word, that is morning. Okay. Write down there morning, so you may underline it, that morning, and the next is road. Okay, in the next line, second line, the end of the word is that is road. Then you can see the third line, that is chariot. Then power, then again chariot. Okay. So in the first paragraph, you can take the last words in the every lines. So this morning is denoted as A, road is denoted as a B, and this chariot is denoted as C. Okay, because it is not matched with each other. Like morning, it's give a different sound. Road is also not similar to that. Chariot sound is also not similar to any of these words. Okay. Then part, it is also not similar to these words. The sound is not similar to these words. So it gives a different sounds. So then we denote it as a D. Then you can go through the chariot. So here chariot, in the third line, the last word chariot, again there was repeating of the same word in the last line of the paragraph, that is chariot. We can denote it as a C. Okay. So A, B, C, D, C. So this is a rhyme scheme. Okay. So this is a rhyme scheme of this poem. A, B, C and D, C. So when you look over this, so what you will get it here, that is the words. That is the words which gives a similar sounds. So there you have to find out that it is matched or not. So it is similar with that rhyming words or not. You have to find out. So there we are get this rhyme schemes, that is ABC, DC. ABC, DC. This is the rhyme scheme. So let's move on to the symbolism. Symbolism. So symbolism, it's an object or a person or idea, means something deep and not just what the word means. Okay. So when we look over some of the words, so when we look at it, it may be any object, it may be a person, or it may be any ideas. When we check it or that, so it gives the word gives only what called ordinary meaning, but actually when we go through it, when we go in a deeper meaning, so it gives some different meaning, okay, which is compared to the normal meaning, so that gives a different meaning, okay, which gives a deeper meaning and which can understand more deeply, okay, that is called. So let's see that which are the things are there here. So you can see the textbook. In that poem, you can take the line like stone paved road, okay, the stone paved road, the stone paved road, it means and crooked lane, and the crooked lane. So it is there, these lines, these words are there in the poem, crooked lanes. So what it symbolizes, what it symbolizes, what called suggested. So it gives a hard and difficult path of life which the speaker is traveling on, okay. The problems, the things which arises in the life of the speaker, that is called the meaning of this, okay. So not only the speaker, even we people also having some of the problems. So that is compared, that problems of the life, it compares to these words, that is the stone paved road and the crooked lanes. These are the hard and toughest times of a human being, okay. So either whatever the problems are, it is similar, it is equal to these things. So in this poem it has used these symbols, okay. Then and the next you can take king in his chariot with sword in his hand, okay. You can take the line like king in his hand, sword in hand, the king came in his chariot, that line. So in the paragraph first, third line, sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. So that symbolizes about a power, okay, power of a king, how much he has a power, that is suggesting, that it shows in this poem, okay. Then next is, that is also called as a symbolism, that symbolizes a power. Next is an old man with a bag of gold, okay. So here an old man came out with his bag of gold. So the second paragraph, third line, so it suggests, it symbolizes to the wealth, a man which acquired lot of wealth, okay. So that lines, it's when we look into that, so it is a normal kind of a word, but when we look into more detail, so then it suggests that, then it shows that, so that person has a lot of wealth, okay, that is here, that's mean. A lady with a smile. So in the third paragraph, you can see here a fair maid came out. Fair maid means a lady which is having a beauty, okay, a smile. So that symbolizes a beauty, okay. So that symbolizes a beauty here. So that's why here we call it symbolism. And next is morning. Here the word used morning. Morning means in the morning, the day. So when the poet has written, so the speaker used to do all the work from the morning, is it? So that is called morning, it symbolizes to hope. So morning, it symbolizes to hope, okay. Morning, it symbolizes to hope and courage. It gives these qualities. Morning, it symbolizes hope and courage. Then you can go through the evening and dark in this poem. The words like evening and dark, it suggests, it symbolizes that evening and dark, it symbolizes that hopelessness, okay. where a man is hopeless. There is no hope. So it is symbolizes to the hopelessness. What it is? That is evening and dark, which there is a no hope there. Okay. So here it is called symbolism. I hope that you have understood this second poetic device. Is it? Is it, children? So next we will move on to the alliteration. Alliteration. So there is another poetic device here. It is used in this poem, that is alliteration. So what is this alliteration? Here, alliteration is a word. Alliteration is a words which are repeatedly used with the consonant sounds. Okay, the words which is used repeatedly, that's called a consonant sounds. So here there are some words like I was walking. I was walking. So in the paragraph, first, so you can see here, I was walking. In the second paragraph, the two words called va. Okay, so va and va, these are the consonant sound. These two words begins with the consonant sounds which has repeatedly used. Okay, so va, it is a consonant sound. The next is the king came. The king came. So here ka sound. Okay. So the one sound is twicely it has used, repeatedly used. So that is called as a alliteration. Okay. So children, I hope that you have understood this poetic device. Only these kind of a poetic device are used in this poem, which is used by the poet Rabindranath Tagore. I hope you have understood that and you got the moral of this poem. So what is the moral of this poem is, the man always goes about for a temporary, like a materialistic thing. Okay, always man loves for the materialistic thing, which he is attracted to things. Okay, he is not looking over the good deeds, because it is a countless and we can see it also, is it? When we do something good thing to the people, okay, so we can see that and we not get result fast. Soon we not get result. That man, so today's man and today's human being is eagerly waiting for the result. Result means if they have done anything to the people, they have to give it. They have to get it back in return. So whatever the good deeds they will do, but good deeds is never written in that form. Okay, whatever we are doing. Okay, so like it is. So always the man goes about a materialist happiness. The man is finding his happiness in the materials, okay, and the power and the beauty. So he is not looking over the goodness of a human being, okay. All they are temporary, and everything is everything is faded, okay. That is power, that is money, and also beauty. So one day these three things are faded, okay. It will be not remain permanently. Okay, so it is a temporary. All these things are temporary. So what it remains only good deeds. So this is about a poem and also poet. So how beautifully Rabindranath Tagore has described the world, how it is living and what man is expecting. Okay, and at last what he wants. So these things he is compared to the world. Okay, so I hope that you all are enjoyed and all you are understood it well. And till then, we are going to meet in the next class. So till then, you are stay at home and keep learning. Thank you.